Okay, here's a look at Star Toys ST-01 Commander, or Lightning, or some other name that people are saying that this figure was given. But basically, this is their version of a masterpiece scaled Blitzwing. And just looking at this, this is a really nice figure in that this is very cartoon accurate. The paint, the colors, yeah, it's all very nicely well done. There are little nitpicky things here and there which I'll point out, but first let me just go over the box again if you didn't see my unboxing, because I think this packaging design deserves some credit. Very plain, simple box, but nicely colored. Very smart in terms of packaging design. But what I really like is if you take a look here, you could see all these nice sketches. These are really nice. This reminds me back in the days in school for product design. I mean, all these ideation sketches. These are really nice, so I can appreciate that, and that's why I'm showing you, because this is really cool. And in terms of packaging design, I think this is very smart. Doesn't have that nice colored illustration, but you know, you save on cost by not having to have color printed. I mean, look at the design, it's really nice. And you know, the other side you get the tank mode, and just very plain and simple. Star Toys, nice font that they use there. Bottom, same thing. So in terms of packaging design, very plain and simple, but this is really well done, very smart in my opinion. And now back to the figure. I mean, just looking at this, this is really nice. So let's do this first. Let's compare this with the animation model, so we can see, you know, how well they captured the cartoon aesthetics. And you could see, you know, for the most part, they did a really nice job. Purple's kind of hard to pick out, just depending upon which purple you're using. So just letting you know, you can have purple with more red in it, or like pink, which will come out a little brighter. Or you can have purple with more blue, so it has kind of like the chrome sky look to it. But yeah, they chose a nice color, the nice tan color and the white, and you don't have all this extra detail on here, which some people, you know, complain about. I'd say like Bobby Skullface. And they would complain that this is too hyper-tuned. Neither one's wrong, but just pointing out the fact, yes, this is pretty plain and simple. You know, you don't have all this sculpted detail, but that's what makes this cartoon accurate. But you do get all this nicely sculpted detail, the treads and stuff, so that's really nice. I will admit, something like Fans Toys with the extra detail, or like maybe transparent plastic to give it more of a premium look and finish would be nice. But in terms of what they did here, what they gave us, this looks really, really nice. So in terms of accessories, you get his handgun here, which is very cartoon accurate. Plain and simple, you know, it's not painted or anything, but look at, I mean, it looks fine to me. I mean, this looks kind of like a masterpiece scale magic square. And the same thing with the sword, they did give you a nice little paint there. So very cartoon accurate. And speaking of magic square, if they ever give us the triple changers, I wonder what that would look like. But one other accessories that you get here is the alternative face with the open mouth. This is really nice. I mean, this just gives it character. I can almost hear him talking with this face piece. I think I want to swap it out. But yeah, that's what you get. You don't get any instructions. You do get the card, which with the QR code, if you want to check out the YouTube video. That's not really a great transformation video, but you know, that's what they give you instead of the instructions. But this is really nice. So now let's just go over some articulation here. Let's come up close here so you could see, first of all, this head. Look at how nicely sculpted this head is, and it's even nicely painted. So I like that. So it can go up, down, to the side, all around. And I want to point out, if you want, look at, I like this neck design here. This is the same as their Deformation Space Starscream, but this is really cool. So you can kind of replicate that scene, the triple takeover. Yeah, that's really cool. So you get a lot of articulation with the head, and it's really nicely sculpted too. And let's go over here, the shoulders. They do go out to the side on friction, and they do go front and back on a soft ratchet. Friction, bicep swivel. You get a double jointed elbow, so you can get up to past 90 degrees here. And you do get hand swivel. Let me take this gun off so I can show you the hand also. This hand, you can also go out to the side a little bit too. Individually articulated fingers. These are the nice organic looking fingers too, so that's really nice. So just to show you here real quick, here's their other design, the Deformation Space Starscream. So just showing you, they use the same neck joint, so that's really cool. And the hands also basically the same hands, so I think it's a cool design. And then coming down here to the waist, you do get waist swivel on friction, and you do get an ab crunch. And I want to point something out here. I mean, you could see that pin. It kind of works here because they actually used a little bit of a thicker pin. Unlike X-Transbots, they use the same thin pin on harder plastic, on thin pieces of plastic. That's why it's more prone to breakage. So I'm just pointing that out because the way they executed this, I think, was very smart. They took all those things into consideration here. This, I guess you could complain, but it doesn't bother me because the leg can go up just enough. I don't think it needs to go more than that. But what's cool is you can hear the ratchet and a soft ratchet out to the side. So that's really cool. You get ratchets on both sides, friction thigh, and then look at the ratchet on the knees. So that's really cool. And then you do get ankle rocker, but I don't like this. This is on a pin, so you know, over time I can tell that this is gonna loosen up. And then if you want, this is on a screw here, so you can kind of get the foot to go a little bit up and down if you want. So you do get a good amount of articulation with this figure. Let me just take this sword out. So this is really nice. And let's see, is there anything else here? Let's just take a look at the back. So the back view, you can see, yeah, this one, yeah, it cleans up pretty nice. I mean, the design, this is very well thought out. Unless I do a transformation video, you're not going to be able to see and appreciate how well they did this. But there's a lot of tabbing systems, so this holds up. This locks into place very securely, and look at that, it cleans up really nice. It's not like a huge backpack. Okay, so now little nitpicky things. You see here the arm seems a little bit too long to me, so that's why, I don't know if you noticed, but I kind of adjusted the arms like so, so when you look at the front view, it doesn't look too long. Because if I straighten out his arm and bring it down like so, now you could see his arm looks a little too long. And I'm just being really nitpicky here, but this shape is correct, but I think it's a little exaggerated, and I think they did that on purpose to thicken up the leg, because if you see, if they did kind of crop it off, then the leg would be a little bit too thin. But I'm just being nitpicky there. But overall, this is really, really, really a nice looking figure. Very well thought out transformation, all the colors, the simple details and stuff, really nice. So now, comparison. I think the most important comparison I think people want to see is how does he fit next to Astro Train. So this is Fans Toys Astro Train, and you could see he's a little bit taller than the Fans Toys. Yeah, it's not too bad, but he is a little bit big. Yeah, I think it looks good. And then, how does he compare with their other figure that they released, the Deformation Space Starscream? So we can see here, this looks nice. I mean, the same kind of way that they chose to design the figure, the plastic, the paint and stuff. I mean, looks very consistent. So these two look actually really good together. And then this is the KO Masterpiece Megatron. So he is a little bit taller because of the thighs here. And I think, look at that. He scales really, really nice there with Blitzwing. So this looks really nice. So let me put them all here. I'm not going to bring out all the Masterpiece. I know I should probably do an update on the my Masterpiece collection, but just want to give you a quick look here just so you can see. Look at that. This looks really nice. So this figure fits in really nice with your Masterpiece collection. That's all I'll say. With that said, let's just go ahead and transform this into the tank mode and see what that looks like. And I say tank mode because I'm just letting you know, transforming it from robot to tank mode is definitely much easier than it is from robot to jet mode, because you don't have to flip these arms around to the other side, because they need to be that way for the jet mode. So just letting you know. So let's take a look at what he looks like in tank mode and see what that looks like. Okay, here's a look at the tank mode, and let's put up the animation model so you can see that this is not quite cartoon accurate in that it's missing the purple part of the jet plane right there, which may or may not be a good thing depending upon what your preference is. You can argue that, it looks like more of a tank with a cleaner look, but it's not cartoon accurate. And for me personally, I would have liked that purple part of the plane there, because I do prefer the cartoon aesthetics. But aside from that, I think they match the colors pretty well, and they even captured some of the little details, such as like these 3 little dots up here, the 4 wheels for the treads, And little understandable things that are different, such as the purple front here, which is part of the robot mode that you don't see in the tank mode. That's missing a little bit of the purple detail back there, but that's being really nitpicky. But just overall, I think it looks really nice. Now, I don't know if you were able to see, but I did get a QC here. If you can see right here, this piece is wrong. It should be all be going up and down. This piece actually goes on the other side. It should be put this way, but if you see, it's not gonna fit in, and that's because this goes on the other side. So they gave me two right pieces, but I'm missing the left side, so this is a bummer. And this is now the second time I received a QC from Shozi's store, and I think this is a good time to let you know that they never really gave me the missing part for my KO oversized Sharkticon, the leg. They did give me points, but you know, I don't know what the points equates to. But just letting you know that even though Shozi's store, you know, you get good prices. Sometimes with these not so well established companies, you might run into some issues like this, and when you do, I don't know how you're gonna get that fixed. So just letting you know about that. But aside from that, I want to share some other things. You have to, when you transform this, you really have to make sure that you tab all these pieces in really well everywhere, like there and on the sides, even back here, because otherwise it won't you know, all line up very nice like this. So transformation, that's just one thing with the transformation. And you can see some paint chipping there, and this is from the tab. So you know, that's always challenging, trying to get the right tolerance for the paint thickness and stuff. So paint's a little bit too thick, that's why it's really hard tabbing it in, untabbing it, and so as a consequence, that's kind of what happens. So just little nitpicky things with the figure, the way they executed it. But yeah, just look at this. This is really nice. You do get the rotation here, goes up and down. And I know someone pointed out that these wheels, they roll, but I don't think they put the wheels here to roll as a feature. I think what they did, was they were trying to be really smart about the paint. So you could see the screws here. They did that so that all you do is have this plastic piece, screw it in, and because it's a circle shape, I mean, it just happens to roll. So that's the reason for that. They didn't do that because they're adding a rolling feature. So they just did that so yeah, they don't have to, you know, apply this this paint here. So really smart. So just wanted to let you know about that. And here's a good thing I can show you. I was telling you, you have to make sure you really get these pieces tabbed in really well, even right here on the bottom. So that's a proper way to really get this transformed. So that's a look at the tank mode, and yeah, it's a really nice tank mode. So now let's transform it into his jet mode and take a look at that. Okay, here's a look at the jet mode, and let's compare this with the animation model. And you could see they did a really nice job capturing the cartoon aesthetics here. This nose cone is white, but I think this is cartoon accurate. I don't know why the animation model has this tan color. But when you're looking all the details, even the details on the tail fin here, they captured a lot of the cartoon aesthetics. Little things here like the red triangle, the little white stripe here, part of the robot mode. That's understandable because this is a transformer. And it's even nice how they gave you this little missile piece here, which I think is part of the toy. But I'm going to point out, I don't think this was really well designed because this is a parts former, and here you have to remove it. And trying to get this to go back in is really difficult. Because if you could see, that tab does not line into that slot because this half mushroom peg keeps hitting on here, and so you're going to have to fuss with trying to get this to squeeze in here, which is really not a good design. I mean, they should never have put on that half mushroom peg, in my opinion, because it just made it more difficult than it should be. But other than that, it's still nice that you have it. Even here, this little front vents, that's really nice, but it is really difficult getting that to go in. And just for the heck of it, I'll just show you here. I don't like doing these transformations, but when you open this piece up, this chest piece, you can see trying to get these tabs to go in to the little slots in there is really difficult. So this part, you see, they just kind of collapse in. But I think, well, what I do is I just kind of get this as close as possible, and then I use their little sword to kind of help push this forward a little bit, just enough where I can start closing it, if you can see. And once you do, get the tabs to line up into those slots, it will go in, and then there. And like I said, this figure, you have to make sure you get everything all nicely tabbed in. So that's just kind of a little issue there, but you can work around it. And the most amazing thing is this bottom, how they got that tank piece to fold up and hide away underneath. They did a really great job here. And again, I don't think this is like a Fans Toys things. You got to give credit where credit's due. The way they designed this is really amazing. I mean, that just cleans up so nice. So you do get landing wheels that do work in here. And same thing, another issue here. Trying to get this to come out is really hard unless you have like a spudger. But I just like to open it up where I can stick my finger in, bring it back out, and then just transform this back. But making sure you get everything all nicely tabbed back in. So, and it does roll really nice. So this is really great. This is a great mode. Tank mode's okay too, but this is like a better mode. Even the back view, so you can see, yeah, I think they did a really nice job here. So yeah, that's a look at the jet mode. So really, they did a really nice job here. So now let's transform it back to robot mode and have our final thoughts. Okay, here we have him back in robot mode, and my final thoughts. This is a really nice figure. This is the best masterpiece scaled version of Blitzwing that we've gotten so far. And that's speaking to DX9 and KFC's version. Of course, we're waiting for Fans Toys to see what they give us. But in terms of this figure, this is really a nice figure. It's nicely sculpted, nicely proportioned, the colors very cartoon accurate, and the transformation design is very well thought out. And I will say again that this is not like a copy of Fans Toys. You just have to carefully look at the old and new photos of Fans Toys version, and you can clearly see that this is totally a different design. And I say that because credit needs to be given where credit is due. The transformation design on this is really nice, very well thought out. And in terms of, like, you know, the materials, the paint and stuff, it's not a bad thing. It's just, you know, that's just what they chose to do, and it's not really bad. I mean, just look at it. You can see the purple, the color of the plastic. It's not really bad. It's just some people might complain that this is too plain, very cartoon or hypertoon, which I personally like. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But in terms of the little issues, such as like tabbing things in, untabbing, you have to be very careful. You have to make sure you tab things in. Even manipulating things like swiveling this around 180, you have to be very careful so you don't rip the plastic and break it, like I've seen some people done with like their other figures, like their blaster. But yeah, you just have to be aware of how this transforms, and just be very careful. Like, let me just point out one little thing. Like here, you think it's just a simple, you know, untab this, but there's a tabbing here, but then there's also a tab on here. So it's perpendicular, two sides. So when you put this one in, you have to, you know, kind of pull this out and then tab that in. So you just have to be aware of those things, and you know, when you manipulate it, if you're aware of it, this is not really all that difficult. There are little things like flipping the arms around and stuff, but like I said, it's not really that bad. I mean, X-Transbots is definitely worse in terms of transformation design. But all that said, this is really a nice figure in all three modes. So I'm just gonna highly recommend this. So if you have the chance, you know, get this figure before the price goes up or goes out of stock. Or you could wait for Fans Toys, but this is really a nice figure. And I'm gonna give this figure a rating of 8.7 out of 10. So that's my final thoughts on the Star Toys ST-01 Blitzwing.